as a marshal that our Constitution protects the right to privacy.
I am, yeah.
Okay, and you don't think that this kind of information is private information?
I mean, are you aware, Councillor, that the PIPA Act covers word of mouth? And it, or I say, excludes any information told by word of mouth? Or you not understand? You don't have to answer that, I guess.
Yes, I'm not going to answer that. Okay. So you are familiar with the PIPA law, right?
Yeah.
So you were posting on the docket medical information about Sergeant Bell based on word of mouth.
Sorry, is that a question?
Yes. Were you doing that?
I'm going to object, even though I understand that for asked and answered that.
Okay.
Unless you're just going to withdraw it.
Yeah, let me withdraw it. So you don't think that posting unconfirmed private information of a law enforcement officer on the docket could have bad effects in the reputation of this person? Because it could be false, basically?
Objection compound. Confusing.
Yes, sorry.
I mean, as I say, I understood it. Would you like me to read it back to you, Dark?
No, I just want it easy to understand.
Can you restate it, Alejandro?
Yes. So you said you are posting based on word of mouth that my client has a quote-unquote disease and is in the ICU in a public docket. Right.
Correct.
So don't you think that posting on the public docket unconfirmed information of this nature, well, first of all, that given how this information was obtained, this could very well be false?
Sorry, you've asked me two questions again.
Yes,
Which one do you want me to answer?
Okay, sorry. Based on how you obtain this information, i.e. word of mouth, this could very well be false, right?
Sure, possibly.
But you still post it on the docket?
Yeah.
Okay, and you don't think that posting potentially false private medical information on the docket could have harmful effects on the person you are posting the information about?
Listen, Alejandro, my job as a marshal is to hold people accountable. Your client's wife decided to do actions I considered and the public would consider reckless. And so I was doing my job to uphold integrity in this state. And so I was impeaching your client's wife. I did not consider the emotional effects of that, given I was doing my job.
I don't think you really answered my question, but I guess your question would be that you don't care if posting false information about my client had a bad effect on her? Is that your answer?
I didn't say that.
Okay, so what do you think about that?
I think my opinion is irrelevant.
Okay, so you don't think that, I mean, if someone were to post unconfirmed medical information from you in the public docket, that could be very well false because it's just word of mouth, that could have harmful effects on your reputation, emotional state, and so on? You don't think so?
No.
Okay, fine. So just to be clear here, you didn't attempt to verify this information you gathered through word of mouth through official channels like a PIPA disclosure, right?
I didn't get it through a PIPA disclosure.
Right, but once you got it, did you try to confirm it through a lawful PIPA disclosure?
No.
No. Did you contact Sergeant Bell to see if this information was true?
No.
No. Did you contact Sergeant Bell to see if she gave permission to disclose this in the public record?
Sorry, say that again. Did I ask her for permission to disclose it? No.
Yes. No. Did you contact someone from the Los Santos Medical Group to confirm this information?
No. It's not medical records. I didn't have to go through no HIPAA process or no doctor. It's not a medical record.
So you are saying that whether someone is in the ICU is not a medical record?
Show me the medical record.
Well, sorry, you work at the marshal's office. Do you think that if I go to the hospital and ask if someone is in the ICU, they are going to say it to me?
I don't know.
You
I'm
don't
not a
know?
doctor.
Okay. And you don't think that saying that the defendant has a quote-unquote disease is disclosing medical information?
Well, I think that's disclosing medical information.
Yes, that she has a quote-unquote disease.
I mean, medical information, maybe. Sure.
Right, okay. So, do you think that publicly filing in the docket that the defendant was that the plaintiff was in the ICU and had some mysterious disease, right, quote unquote disease, without going through any lawful process of contacting her or making a request under PIPA, is a violation of privacy regulations?
Now, like I said earlier, if I was, doing this through a criminal case or something other, and there was a victim that was injured, I wouldn't go out of my way to request those records necessarily, nor get their permission. And that has been done countless times over the docket. So to make an exception for Sergeant Bell here would be a disservice to my job and my integrity.
Okay. But regardless about what it's usually done, you would agree that this kind of information is private? Or wouldn't you agree?
Objection. I think we've asked and answered this. We're going in circles.
What was the question again, Alejandro? I didn't write it fast enough.
Whether he thinks that this information he published was private information.
Scrolls up. You did ask him earlier, and you don't think this kind of info is private information. And he said that even the PIPA legislation excludes word of mouth. So it has been asked. And it has been answered. I will sustain that objection.
Well, then he didn't answer the question, right?
He said that he doesn't think it's private information. Am I correct, Tark? Am I misstating your testimony?
I think it's about right.
Yay.
Okay. Okay, now, would you agree that the details you give about...
I don't know the full
well,
details.
first of all, let me... do you remember, maybe you don't because it was some time ago, do you remember the grounds you were impeaching Judge Jaina were?
Yeah.
Can you briefly describe them?
Objection relevant.
Rebuttal, Alejandra?
Well, I'm going to get to, hopefully, to showing that the medical information he disclosed was totally unnecessary to the impeachment case. So he was disclosing private information for no reason.
Hmm. You have a rebuttal to that, Dark, that you want to give?
No.
Kind of want to do those get there in 3 questions where we throw the line of questioning out type deal. I want to see where this cook is, and if it's not a good cook, Alejandro, I'm not going to be happy.
Okay, well, hopefully it's a good breakfast cook, you know, your.
At the end of those 3 questions, it's still not relevant. SMH my head. Chuck some shit. We'll chuck the shit out.
From my understanding, the TLDR is
Question was, can you just briefly
Richard was
describe the
impeaching
Jaina?
I mean, yeah,
Jaina as a magistrate, and in the impeachment put something regarding
it would be funny. Okay, I apologize.
Belle going into the
yeah,
ICU and having a
she was
disease, in
being-
quotes,
the
or
big
something to
main
that
thing,
extent.
was that she used her position as a magistrate and abused that position to make a state announcement which said something along the lines of any amount of money to whoever brings me the cure for this damn disease. Then there was a couple other things.
Okay, so would you agree that whether Sergeant Bell was in the ICU or not is irrelevant to whether this state announcement was appropriate?
I'm gonna hold my tongue on some things here, Alejandro. But yes, of course, it's bloody relevant.
Why?
Jaina Pierce is Callista Bell's wife. At the time the state announcement was made, Bell was in the ICU. So when a judge says, I will give you lots of money for a cure for this disease, it implies she's looking for a cure for her wife. That was the grounds of the impeachment, or at least 1/3 of the grounds.
Okay, well, let me just read you what you wrote there. This action taken by Magistrate Pierce shows a wanton disregard for her actions. This act, from the public's point of view, was the state authorities offering a large sum of money for an unknown cure for an unknown disease. At this point, there had been no public announcement of any disease or virus. This announcement held no regard for the panic it might have caused, nor the reckless actions some might have taken for the state offered monetary reward. So, I mean, I guess my point is, why does it matter why she might have done this announcement? What you write here is that making this announcement was dangerous because a lot of money was offered, panic could have ensued. Uh, how is relevant why she made the announcement?
But it's a bloody impeachment, man. Of course it's bloody relevant. If she's misusing the position as a judge, why wouldn't the reason for why she did it be important?
Let the court record show she's a magistrate, now judge.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Sometimes I wish I was a magistrate.
Okay, so you think it was important to show why she might have done this? Is that what you're saying?
You wanna we at that 3-question point yet?
Yeah, we're getting to about the end of that. I understand what you're putting down, Alejandro. I understand that you've built some relevance for it, but I don't know entirely that it's gone the way you want it to.
Okay, can I ask a final question?
Yeah, wrap it up with a beautiful bow. You got this, babe.
Well, beautiful bow. Okay, so would this paragraph I read where you summarize why you want to impeach Magistrate Jaina have in any way
Hmm.
been changed if you hadn't known of the disease and ICU stay of Sergeant Bell, or you would have just written the same thing?
So you want me to speculate on an alternate timeline that didn't happen?
If I can get.
I'm kind of messy, and I kind of want to hear the answer. I'm gonna be honest.
The judge going, I'm kind of messy. I kind of want to hear the answer. Holy fuck.
It can, of course, be weighed accordingly to the different timeline that doesn't never happen. Spider-Verse shit.
He's not answering me. I don't want to answer before he answers.
Alejandro, yes, you.
Yes, so yeah. Sorry. Just imagine, you didn't have heard these people speculating in your marshal's office that day. Would you just have written the exact same thing in the statement of impeachment?
Well, how would I have written the exact same thing if I didn't know the stuff about Miss Bell? So then I would never have written that stuff. So of course not. It's a silly question.
No, sorry. I mean the stuff.
Don't get
no,
mad at me, so.
Sorry. Yes, sorry. Not the exact same thing in the sense of everything, just the passage I've read about this action taken by Master Priest, blah, 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 cause panic, large sums of money, all that stuff.
Right, I'm going to answer this in two parts. One, you conveniently left out the end of the paragraph where I said that Bell had a disease, which was convenient for the court, so please note that, Your Honor. But the second, if you're asking whether I still would have impeached her for doing this, yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Now, would you agree that in any event, right, you could have added medically sensitive evidence to the docket as a sealed evidence so that only the judge and the other party could see it and not literally anyone in the state of San Andreas?
What bit would I have shielded?
Well, the fact that Sergeant Bell was in the ICU with a disease.
Why would they have shielded that? This is a public impeachment. I felt the public had every right to know on the motivations of this magistrate that they elected.
Yeah, but this was not about the magistrate. This was about Sergeant Bell's medical information.
That's correct. You're correct, Counselor. Thank you for testifying.
Okay, let me try some other way. So, you are aware as a marshal that it's very common for prosecuting officers to seal some of the evidence that might be sensitive in nature, right?
Sure, in like criminal cases and stuff, yeah.
Okay. So why didn't you seal this sensitive medical information?
I didn't feel it necessary.
Why not?
I didn't feel it necessary. I don't need to go into details. I just didn't feel it necessary.
Okay, you just didn't feel necessary to protect medical information regarding Sergeant Bell.
Listen, if I had gone and somehow got a hold of medical records that I shouldn't have, and then I posted them on the docket, I could understand. That didn't happen. I heard via word of mouth that he was in the hospital with a disease at the same time her wife tried to get a cure for said disease, abusing her position as a magistrate. So no, I wasn't going to exclude that from the docket because it was evidentiary valuable.
Yes, but wouldn't you agree that the fact is that you didn't get those medical records because you didn't even try to verify the information you had by contacting the hospital?
Because I don't want to be here for 17 hours, you have asked and he has answered this.
Okay, sorry. Yes, thank you. No further questions.
Oh, you didn't bring any friends. Hey, and he...
What do I do now?
I mean, usually we make you do a funny voice and you have to do a different voice for the person asking you questions. You have to get
I
everyone
don't
back
do
and forth.
voices.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Who's
Let me
that?
think if I've got any questions for myself first, because I might be able to
Okay.
just dismiss myself, you know.
Okay.
I mean, I do. I do. I'll keep them simple, though. Hello, Richard. Hello, Richard. Richard, did you... Hold on, I'm going there. You want to just say you're aware. Just get ready to write things down.
Okay.
Did you post any medical records on the docket referencing the impeachment of Magistrate Jana Pierce? No, I didn't. Is there anything else I want to ask?
Of course you would.
Oh, that old PIPA legislation, what does it cover? Medical records. Thank you. Anything else? Anything else? Oh, yeah, the other counselor spoke about, you know, going out your way to talk to Bill about getting permission and all that. Did they talk to you about how you obtained this information? I'm glad you asked, Richard. Thank you, Richard. No, they didn't. They tried to use the docket to find that information out and depose me beforehand and abused the whole process. So, no, I wasn't spoken to by Bill. I wasn't spoken to by Alejandro. I wasn't spoken to by Jaina. Best to my knowledge, the plaintiff and her counsel have not even attempted to open an investigation into how I got the information, given that they might have been concerned about, you know, how I obtained it. So no. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Any redirect, Alejandro?
Yes. So, I guess answering to your own cross-examination, you said that you didn't post any medical records, but would you agree you did post medical information?
Can you define the difference between records and information, please, Counselor?
That ruins his setup.
Well, actually, why don't you define the difference? Because you said you were not posting medical records. So
If the attorney defines
what
it,
were
he's
you
literally laying out his game plan of
I
trying
posted
to
a statement.
clarify that they're the same. And that records are
Okay,
information.
and that statement contained medical information, correct?
Well, I mean, you've argued today that it might not have been factual, so to define it as medical information is difficult given we haven't validated what you have today. So I guess, yeah, after today, I know that it was true. So, yeah, I guess that would be medical information.
Okay. Now, if you have access to your MDT, could you read the first in the PIPA legislation, the first sentence?
You're not going to make somebody read out loud something that's in a legislation that everybody can reference and see because you think the judge is too stupid to read, right?
Well, I was with you until you said because you think the judge is too stupid to read. No, I don't think so.
You could. I mean, if you have a question for him about it, you can ask him questions. Otherwise, this could be, pointed to in the evidentiary part of your thing. Nothing I hate more than people reading out charges or legislation that are publicly available.
Yeah,
I like that.
Okay. Well, okay. Let me let me read it myself. Are you aware that the purpose of this legislation, meaning PIPA, is to protect individuals' health information?
Sure. Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay, good. Okay, I don't know how worth is getting into this thing you mentioned about how we didn't talk to you, but of course you would agree that out of a court setting like this one, where you have to swear to tell the truth and so on, you can just refuse to answer any of the questions we might ask you, right?
So you're trying to educate me on, like, the Miranda warning? Is that what you're trying to do right now?
No,
Wait.
Also,
I-
just for the record, Alejandro, the next time I say don't read something out of legislation out loud and you read something out of legislation out loud, I will be holding you in contempt. I can read, Dark can read, the court can
Naughty
read.
boy.
Just reference it. Don't fucking sit there and read shit out to us.
Ask
Yeah,
your
well,
question
yeah.
again,
Sorry, no.
Alejandro.
I just
Honestly,
wanted to
though,
make sure
doing
that
that is so
Marshall Dark was
necessary
aware of the first
to prevent
sentence of the
derailing of
You could have phrased it literally like that.
court cases.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, well, the question I was asking now was that without trying to educate you on Miranda rights or anything, out of a courtroom setting, we have no way of getting you to answer any questions on how you got this information, right? You would agree with that?
No, I wouldn't.
Be deposed.
I'm a government official. If you were concerned that a government official had done things that were bad, you could have gone to the department that investigates bad government officials, which is the San Andreas State Marshals. Wouldn't you agree, Counselor? Sorry, you're not on trial. Bad habit.
Okay, so I would have to go to your own department to ask about this. Okay. Yeah, no further questions.
I know that was intended as a slight,
Dark,
but
you
like
need to
that
step
is the
down, but you
reality
can't
with
leave.
any department.
Damn it. I was about to make a run.
Counselor Dark, will you be calling Field Marshal Dark? Will you be recalling Field Marshal Dark? Just kidding, I don't have to answer that question. You can't leave anyways.
No.
Alright, Alejandro, any other witnesses or anything?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll do evidence at the end because I prefer that. Move the ball to your court, Field Director Dark.
What can I do now?
Do you have any witnesses you'd like to call?
Let me think. Probably not. Let me have a think now. Give me 2 minutes, Your Honor.
Honey, I think the expectation is that they'd probably already be here.
No,
Not.
I'm not going to call anybody. I'm wondering about whether I want to call myself for bail back up. But
I did not recognize you in your street clothes. Holy shit.
Hey, it's me. Supporting my husband, you know how it be.
Rose, can you do me a solid while he's thinking? Can you somehow infect other cops with that thing where they actually like make, defending people in the cells fun? Still my favorite person to argue against.
That's above my pay grade. It's far above my pay grade.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think so, Your Honor. I think we've all heard what we need to hear.
Okay. Do we need time before we do evidence in closing, or are we good to send it?
Sure. Send it.
Alejandro?
Can we have 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Yeah, of course. All right, we're getting a 5-minute potty break. Everybody be ready at 9, probably 9:10. Let's
What
be
do you
honest.
think,
Oh
honey?
wait, you guys are. Not
I think you did great.
Does
I think-
anyone got any foods?
I think it was very funny when you asked the difference between information and records, because then he would essentially have to lay out his whole game plan behind his intent behind proving one is the other.
Yes, please.
He tried to Uno reverse it and tried to ask you.
I know.
I can't believe this.
You know, I was going to get up and like ask questions for you, but I was like, no, I kind of want to hear him talk to himself.
Yeah, it's okay. I didn't want to bring anybody because I don't kind of found, what's the word? That baseless? No, there's another word for it. Unfounded. This is unfounded.
Oh, I need to go to the bank. I need to transfer the money for the furniture.
Oh, did you get it?
Hey.
Well, I don't have the furniture. I do have the invoice. You want to see it?
Yeah.
I'll send it
Nice,
to you.
okay.
Somebody was
Actually,
I'll send it
saying-
to you
send it
I
over.
don't have
That'd be good.
super
I
much
need that.
experience,
For
with the
investigation.
security guard. If they take their shit and don't give it
Oh,
back,
if,
Right.
You need any more furniture
Like
or
not just
anything?
not giving it back.
Let
yeah.
I work for the hub.
You
Probably
do?
Call Box or something like
Mhm.
that.
What's in that
Furniture
bag?
hub.
Come over here.
Yeah, what's up?
Food?
No food, I got drink. Jerry, you got
Bad
food?
emails. Bad emails. Food?
I said try
Feel
just
hungry,
asking
doctor?
him for stuff again. I don't know
Gracias.
if that works.
Do you need a drink or you
Minute
good?
May.
No, I'm good on a drink right now. I don't need one. I'm just hungry. My stomach's gonna start growling in a sec.
I'll be back.
Jeremy, your brother is very special. Actually, also Eric, your brother.
I'm gonna go back to bed. When I tell you I slept easily for like 16 fucking hours yesterday, it was one of those like I felt like trash, had no energy, and just like I'm not kidding. The only reason I got up was to let the dog out. That was it. I was fucking out of it. And then I went back to sleep and it was like straight up 16 fucking hours.
Is that good with you? Oh, I can't. Why can't I? Is there a reason I can't purchase one? I don't have that. I should have way over 50.
Yeah. And the weird thing is I feel fine now. But I was definitely sick because despite sleeping for 16 fucking hours and not eating a single thing, my blood sugar spiked up multiple times. And I don't mean like a little spike, I mean like really fucking high. um 15331. The amount transfer. Um 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and back we go. Yeah, no, Beepo is phenomenal. Seriously, throughout... Here's the reality of the situation. If I didn't have my CGM, which communicates with my insulin pump, which automatically gives me insulin based upon the readings from my CGM, I would have slept, and I would have woken up, and my blood sugar would have been crazy high, and I would have felt even fucking worse. But because in my sleep, my insulin pump did everything it fucking needed to, my blood sugar was normal. After some time, of course, but still. I run this way. Ooh. When I was a lot younger, like middle school, I went through diabetic ketoacidosis. That is not fun. That is not fun. Does it wake you up if you roll over onto it? No. No, it does not. It's small. I say small, but like think like size of a beeper. It doesn't wake me up if I'm
Did you pay for it, honey?
Yeah, I just
Dave,
did.
how tired are you?
Got like 50 minutes in me.
In fact, me laying on it kind of smothers it, and I never really feel it.
At least of being, you know,
But
around.
alarms
No, yeah,
end
you're
up
alright.
not being heard sometimes because it's being smothered.
Plans for after the case.
Sometimes.
Wait, hey, you the one
What?
that did that?
Please, you just honk her nose.
Okay, Chris is pushing it.
Oh my god, Chris, we're gonna get
Was that a
sued, man.
consensual nose honk, or did he just reach up and honk it?
Have some decorum, Marshall.
I think you just reached up and honked it.
Yes.
Chris, who honking other women's noses? I will text Violet and start some shit.
Oh.
You know what
Oh.
I'm talking
Oh,
about.
you're
Nope.
in trouble.
Nope.
I was born messy, I'll die messy.
I bet you don't even
my
touch violets,
God.
though.
You kill people. You try to kill people in the
Okay, do you ever
shower,
honk
Seth.
your
That's
black
crazy.
nose?
That is weird. Okay, objection weird.
That's not what objection weird means. Overruled.
Objection, that is,
I think what you're looking
Invasion
for
of
is
privacy?
objection. You're a little freak. That one would have been sustained.
What changed? I thought you were gonna be the director.
Objection.
I think anywhere else weird would pass. However,
Justice,
Not so
is the
much here.
Marshall's
Weird
sex life on
Casa is
trial
fine.
here?
Not in this case.
No.
No.
No, you gotta go to a Biggleman case. That's when dicks start coming out.
Oh my
Huh?
Okay.
I'm good.
what?
Don't say that name 2 more times that you will summon them.
Biggleman, Biggleman, Biggleman.
I think I'm good. There's only one dick I'm actually interested in seeing right now.
me too. It's my husband Richard, also known as Dick.
Oh my god.
Okay, Your Honor, we are ready for closing.
Technically, there's a dick out in the courtroom right now.
Yep,
Dick's
that's
on
my
the phone.
husband.
Okay, Richard, you ready?
Honey, you gotta put the phone down.
He looks very uncomfortable.
Oh, he's flexible. Congratulations to Matt
That
Rose.
looks comfortable.
Thank you, thank you. I picked my
here,
husband
Your Honor.
wisely.
Alright. I never hit the gavel to stop it, so we're just gonna run it back. Alright, Alejandro, evidence and closing.
Yes. I think technically, well, the evidence there is the affidavit from Bell, which was covered in the questioning today, and then the docket posting of the impeachment, which I'm going to mention briefly in the closing. So I'm just going to give the closing really.
Okay.
Okay, so Your Honor, and people from the Peanut Gallery. So, you've heard the testimony today, and it's very concerning. So, Marshal Dark heard a conversation in the Marshal's office lobby about
Objection, misstatement of testimony, Your Honor.
Some judges are
I didn't
very
say I was in the
against.
lobby.
Okay. Well,
Wait,
let
but
me-
lobby works in his
let me
favor.
rephrase.
That's more public.
Marshal Dark held a conversation in the Marshal's office about Sergeant Bell possibly what her medical condition was, and that possibly she was in the ICU. And what did she do? She just posted this on the docket for all the state to read. Now, what he posted is clearly medical information. He said she was in the ICU and that she has a quote unquote disease. So, forget PIPA, Your Honor. If he didn't obtain this information lawfully and posted it lawfully, this is a violation of Article 3.7 of the Constitution. So, what did Marshal Dark don't do? he says he did not violate the PIPA Act because he didn't post any medical
Hey,
records.
Dark, I'm here to support you.
At the first line of the
Oh damn. Hey,
PIPA Act says,
Hey, Rhodes, how you
and
doing?
is the one
I'm doing okay. I'm just here to
I
support
read
my
before,
husband.
the purpose of this
I'm here to
legislation is to
support your
protect
husband,
individuals'
too.
health information, and this was health information from an individual. But why didn't Marshall R post any medical records? Well, because he didn't ask for corroboration of the hearsay he asked in the marshal's office. So that's even worse, because he was posting unverified information that could very well have been false about Sergeant Bell's medical condition.
No, not Marcel. A
you know,
Marshall.
what if it was false that she had this disease and people
Saying
thought
Marshall.
she had it? That could have very bad effects on her reputation or how she's treated. But what did happen is that Marshall Dark was posting rumors and hearsay on the docket, and we saw how in the testimony this affected the plaintiff's emotional state and how that made her feel, especially this mention, quote unquote, of a disease, which of course Marshall Dark didn't know what disease it was because he didn't took any steps to get proper medical records. And what is the lawful way to obtain medical records? The PIPA Act. Of course,
Who's
Marshall
Marcel
didn't follow
Dark?
the PIPA
Oh
process
my God.
because he didn't bother
Saying
even
Marshall
confirming
Dark.
this hearsay he
Oh,
heard.
I thought he said Marcel Dark.
He
No,
didn't try
Marshall.
to contact Sergeant Bell to confirm any of this information or ask for permission to post it, which is funny in a sense because Marshall Dark was saying, oh, why didn't they talk to me earlier to see how I got this information, right? Well, he didn't contact the plaintiff to even confirm if this medical information was true. He didn't also confirm anyone in the hospital. And of course, since he didn't contact anyone at the hospital to obtain the information, she didn't follow any of the PIPA processes. But I think these are small details where it was a medical record or a medical information. It was medical information. It was just posted on the docket based on hearsay without confirming with anyone. This is clearly negligent behavior, especially from an state marshal who should conduct themselves strictly within the law. Marshall Dark said here that, well, people on the docket routinely post reports without following any procedure. Well, if they do that, it's wrong, and that's not an excuse. Now, also the fact is that this information was not material to his case. As you can see from the testimony today and the docket for the impeachment, one of the things was about whether Magistrate Jaina had posted a state announcement offering a large sum of money and creating probably panic within the public. And the reason why she did that, I mean, has no bearing on the material fact, which is that she did it. So, in fact, posting this information was not relevant to the impeachment. And what's even worse, Marshall Dark didn't even attempt to publish this information as a sealed evidence, which is what you do with sensitive information, as Marshall Dark knows. This is medical information and it's private, so it should be posted as sealed evidence if it's not done, with the consent of the person whose medical records they are posting, which was not the case here. So, to sum it up, Marshall Dark was acting on hearsay. He still posted this publicly on the docket, was not material to his case on the impeachment, did not try to confirm this through any proper channels, like talking to the plaintiff or talking to the hospital and following the usual PIPA process. He simply acted as if no privacy law applied to him, as he could just post whatever he wanted in the docket without this being confirmed. But the law is clear. To lawfully use medical information in a docket process, you have to get the proper medical record, and that's how you do through a PIPA process. No exception here applies. So what happened was unlawful, it was harmful to the defendant, and it deserves to be remedied. So that's why we are asking a declaratory judgment from the Honorable Court saying that this disclosure was unauthorized and unlawful. We are also asking compensation for emotional distress damages, which is $250,000. And we are also asking punitive damages to ensure that this kind of publication of private information based solely on hearsay and without following any official procedure in the law is not repeated again against any citizen, okay, no matter if they're a sergeant in the, BCCO or someone else. Thank you.
All right.
Honey, your phone real
Is
quick.
my turn, Your Honor?
It is in fact your turn.
Honey, check your
Can
phone
you go
real
5
quick.
seconds without somebody from the DOJ being threatened? Or I guess in this case it's Bell. Someone said they're gonna put
Wait,
the deer
what?
down. Somebody on Twitter said that if the death penalty's on the line, they'll put the deer down. And I'm assuming that's you.
Is that Ember
Damn.
over there, Matt?
Oh,
Yeah.
Amber, you better watch out. You're apparently it's deer hunting season. All right.
Actually,
Ember,
hold on, hold on.
Hey,
I got
Seamus,
this.
I hear you want
that's the
somebody
human
killed.
that
You'll
he
pay
Should I
good
with the
money
guy, Your
for it.
Honor?
You're good.
Oh,
gosh, you just
Bell.
put him on.
Sorry, Your Honor, I called an audible.
Which one's that?
wait, they weren't real?
Oh my god, did you think she was an action? She's just a furry.
Oh.
Alright, I'm yelling and I just need to hit the gavel. I'm so angry at Simon
I'm
Sinek.
so sorry, Your Honor. Please don't give me contempt. Okay, let's do this evidence. You know what? I'll do the evidence first. And well, there isn't any. There isn't any. There is no evidence in this case. It's a bunch of testimony. And what I'll do is specifically highlight the lack of evidence of any damages caused, other than a bit of testimony from Belle over here. She even stated herself that there was no professional repercussions for, I guess, what I did. So exactly what emotional pain and suffering were caused here, it's really unclear. I can tell you what, it's not 250 grand's worth. So evidence, I got nothing. I'm afraid I got nothing to highlight because there ain't nothing worthwhile here. So if we go on the closings, which I will recommend, Councillor Ramirez, that you should go for a job in fast food, and I recommend Waffle House because goddamn, he was yapping for a while. Where are we?
That's not what I
We're
expected
today on a
to come out.
baseless claims of emotional pain and suffering. The councillor brings up the Pipper Act, and yet literally inside the Pipper Act there's a covering or exclusions for word of mouth. He brings up a lot about this impeachment that I submitted, which is, evidentiary invalid, but exactly bringing up the relevance of Belle's condition at the time is completely irrelevant in this case and should have been brought up at the impeachment of her wife. Maybe do that next time. Yeah, we got no evidence whatsoever for any kind of pain and suffering. We got a bunch of waffle about how this is a violation of a right to privacy, but like I've said, and the councillor misstated, in many cases posted on the docket, there is, victims will be named, and they will say, "Oh yeah, this person was shot, this person was stabbed, this officer was shot down." And there's never any medical records attached, and there's never any violations of privacy because that's silly. It is very silly. The council himself didn't even want to clarify the difference between medical records and medical information. There was no breach of privacy here. I heard it through word of mouth. I posted it on the docket. If it wasn't true, that should have been brought up during the impeachment of Jay Pierce. But what did we find out today? It was true. It was true. And it was used during an impeachment, and that's about it. That's where we are. There's no evidence of any breach of privacy or emotional damages. No records were gained. I didn't submit anything. There was there's no medical report of any kind proving or used anywhere by myself. Callista Bell herself stated that I posted no medical records on the docket, and so there was no violation. Yeah, that's about it, Your Honor. Thank you very much for your time, everybody, and ladies and gentlemen of the court. Please, take everything into consideration, even though you already will. Thank you very much.
All right.
How do you think your closing was, Richard? Because I don't know how I feel about it.
I kind of want to be a little.
I don't know. I don't do this
Kyle Pratt in
shit.
charge while I'm gone.
It's part of your fucking job. You're a fucking prosecutor,
You know
and if
what?
you don't do the shit, why didn't you hire
I
an
had to
attorney?
wake up like 6 hours earlier than I wanted to. Yeah. Fred's in charge.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Hold on. Why didn't you hire an attorney?
Oh, thank you, Justice
He's
Gates. I
stupid.
appreciate you.
What'd you
may
I
I
say?
have
say-
to wake up this early and be miserable. I unleash chaos.
Oh, perfect. Well, Chaos is my middle name, and may I say you look beautiful
Elizabeth.
today.
Oh my.
I didn't even know her name was Elizabeth. I thought it was Kyle Elizabeth Pred.
Yeah, Kyle Elizabeth Pred Soze.
Oh, okay. All right. Y'all behave.
Hey, hey, can I?
Okay.
Hey, I'll behave.
I didn't waste money yet. Waste of money.
I'll
Uh,
behave.
uh,
All right, as you heard it, I'm in charge of this fucking courtroom.
God.
Courtroom Fight Club
Uh-oh.
is now in session. Courtroom
Wait,
Fight
that-
Club.
Oh,
We got
Does
the
that include
EMS
us?
here.
Oh my
Courtroom
god.
Fight Club.
Wait, does that include
Yay.
us?
All right, Richard Dark, Callista Bell, championship bout. Let's go.
Whoa.
Well,
Wait, what?
sensitive topic. Sensitive. I would not want either of them to go to the hospital or the ICU during this.
I am currently off duty from the hospital. Can we not, please?
All right. Ember Quinn versus Matt Rhodes.
oh, okay.
Hold on, honey.
Ember stepping up to the plate, Rhodes. Ember stepping up
You're my
to the plate.
champion, honey. You're my
I-
champion.
Is this legal?
I'm gonna stand over here.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in charge of the courtroom. All right, so mutual combat winner gets a firm handshake from me and a 50% off coupon using code Kyle down at the KDA.
I'm not sure what that is.
The premier private investigative firm in Los Santos. Fuck the
Okay.
marshals, fuck the PD. We'll solve it first. All right, perfect. All right, Matt Rhodes. Do you consent to this violent fight against this one-armed handicapped psychopath in Kyle Pred's courtroom?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. All right, Ember Quinn.
Okay.
Despite your handicap, you can decide on which one it's going to be. Do you agree to mutual combat in this courtroom to fight Deputy Matt Rhodes?
Oh yes, and can you buy me a really good prosthetic?
I'm not buying you
What the-
anything. Get a fucking job, you goddamn bum. All right, when you hear the mallet, go for it.
Okay.
All right, 3,
Fuck her up, honey.
2, 1.
Yeah.
Kill!
Yeah.
Kill!
Come on, honey.
Kill!
Yeah.
Kill!
Come on.
Yeah.
Squeeze your nose.
Jesus, Ember.
Chaos!
You're too
Come
used
on,
to
Roger,
this.
deputy.
Courtroom
Yeah.
out!
those hands.
This
Come
is
on.
Courtroom Fight Club!
you.
The first rule of
Yeah.
Courtroom Fight Club is you
Yeah.
do not talk about Courtroom Fight
Come
Club!
on. Honey.
Screw you, Ember.
Honey.
Oh! Undersheriff
Oh.
right there!
No,
That's
yuck
my
you.
undersheriff.
Fuck you, Ember. It's over.
Yeah.
Ah.
Rhodes!
Damn, we're going
Rhodes!
over.
Lock in!
Man.
Lock in, Rhodes!
Oh, screw you, Ember.
Road, swing harder.
Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah.
Ember is so much more used to this. I hit people with a baton.
That is true.
Yeah!
Take her down.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Come on, Rhodes!
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rhodes, she just
You
shot
got
Dark.
this.
You need to get her. You need to arrest her.
oh, she shot Dark. Oh, hell no. Screw you, Ember.
Yeah.
Ember, Rose is
Yeah.
the
Wait.
one.
When did I shoot?
I don't know. I
no.
think they just told me that to piss me off. Where are you?
It's true.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah!
It's true.
Courtroom Fight Club! Courtroom Fight Club!
Ah.
She's wicked.
Yeah.
Rhodes!
That's it, honey. Come on.
Do this for us! Do this for us,
Oh,
Rhodes!
Jesus. Ah.
Appreciate you.
Oh, oh, fuck.
Fucking hell.
You need a haircut.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't pay for it.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
nice!
Ah.
Come on, Rhodes. you got
There
this.
we go!
Oh, I tripped.
Oh, he
Yeah.
hit an invisible. Oh, he's punching walls! He's punching the walls!
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You
Where is
got
she?
this, Rhodes! You got this!
Come on.
I mean, he keeps running away.
Oh.
It's for better positioning.
He's being
tactical.
Tactical.
Blood everywhere. Oh my god!
Get
She's
shit down.
right
Quit
behind
the
you.
Fuck.
Hey. All right.
Ow.
And the winner of the first
okay.
courtroom fight club brawl.
It's all right.
Owen.
It's all right.
Good job.
Don't
Ember.
worry, I know Pred will still get the
You
50%
win
discount.
50% off coupon
will,
down
he
at
will.
the KDA.
Hey, what's the
Alright,
kitty?
that's nice. You are, bud.
The premier private investigative firm in
She's
the
got a
region.
pretty good right hook.
A really good right hook.
All right, remember, first rule of Courtroom Fight Club is you do not talk about Courtroom Fight Club.
Understood.
What's the second rule of Courtroom Fight Club?
Something
Don't
about
talk about courtroom fight.
You
Rule
have
number
to
1.
fight.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie in a while.
Let's see who we got here.
Alright, one more
Callista
here
Bell,
on your chin.
are you sure
We
you
should
don't
be
want
good
to
go.
beat down Richard Dark in Courtroom Fight Club?
Not right now, no.
Alright, let's sit up so we
Oh,
have
Thank you.
All
Gentlemen, I
right,
mean
Simon
Doc.
Cypher
my
and Seamus
God.
McNulty. Come
there
on
we
down.
He got your ass.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Damn,
Can I chop
Shane,
him right
fucking
now?
rough,
Does that
buddy.
count?
2.
No, there's no chopping. You
Oh
gotta
my
wait for the
God.
fighting grounds.
Ember, you fucked me up.
I'm
I
really
got some
hit.
special
Be
heat
clear.
packs for you, Embo.
You'll pay for this, Ember.
I'm weak and fragile. I'm physically
Yeah,
really
you
weak.
can come collect
Yeah, I'm okay.
it,
I'm
my
okay.
I
lord.
might die
You threw that
here.
on purpose, right?
Wow.
Well, you listen.
All right.
She may be down an arm, but I'm pretty sure that strength went to her other one. So for every one swing, I think she was getting 2.
Fight 2. Bout 2.
I think she's just really strong with that one arm now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
All right. On your right, you have the Irish, the DOC, former DOC, current criminal, Seamus McCarthy.
Boo!
McCarthy, right?
Boo!
Seamus McCarthy. And on your left, you have an old man who's trying to become a judge. I wonder how that's going to go for him.
What
You may
the
never know. He's
fuck?
got temporarily has a bar license.
Oh my god.
He temporarily was given a bar license so that he could perhaps maybe become a judge or a
I'm-
member of the judicial branch in the future. Simon Cypher.
Yeah, I'm a better lawyer than you'll ever be. Yeah.
Who are you saying that to?
You know,
All
he
of
did
you.
advertise
Wait, what?
being the best lawyer on
Huh?
Twitter.
Hey,
got
that
like 3
that man
votes.
over there. You know what?
All
Actually,
right.
whatever.
Courtroom Fight
when he ran
Club
for
I will
judge.
rip you
is now in
apart.
session. At
Whoa.
the sound of the bell, you fight
You know, let him have his
until
moment.
You either give up, your
guy's
opponent
wearing a
goes
ring
down,
over
or they
gloves.
fucking die. 3, 2, 1. Yeah! Yeah, kill! Kill!
Oh, this hurts.
Oh,
so
hold
bad.
on, wait. At least Ember and I had some decorum, you know? Like,
Yeah, James is used to beating up unarmed
Yeah,
old men
fuck
in
you.
prison.
oh,
Yeah, you're a failed DOC guard, you bitch.
Hey,
oh my god.
Caught me for all the corruption I did.
Oh, you heard that?
what the hell?
I smuggled so much cocaine into that prison, it was like
Oh my god.
You gotta talk
That was
shit.
a-
Make sure you yell it.
It was an excited utterance. I'm gonna you say it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, he's dodging.
Hold on,
Oh,
I'm
he's
gonna go
coming
speak
for
to
us,
Ember.
honey. He's coming.
The Ember, at least we had some decorum in our fight. My goodness, they ain't even letting each other get up.
Oh, did the was
Right.
this like a short case?
Oh,
Oh, oh, oh!
oh, that
Watch
overhook.
the whole thing. It's Callista Bell versus Richard Dark.
Don't talk about my spit, Dark.
Oh shit, honey, be careful. You don't talk about his spit. Medical records.
Yeah, that's true.
You gonna let a man like me beat you down?
Honey, no, the rules. We can't talk about this. That
I'm
also
not
means no
talking about it. I'm
recording.
not Who said that?
It's
Damn it.
implied. It's implied.
I'm not good with the rules. So. Bloody hell, he's really going for him.
Final? Why don't we have Nino versus Kyle?